23 Walks was released in 2020. This is directed and written by Paul Morrison, and we have a cast including Alison Steadman and Dave Jones as Fern and Dave. And they both have dogs. They meet while they're walking their dogs, and over the course of the film, they spend more time together and learn about each other. It's not solely set while walking their dogs. Also, for information, it's filmed in Barnet, according to Wikipedia, and we do have some really nice outdoor locations, and of course the dogs are absolutely fabulous, and it's basically about their potential relationship and also their relationships with other people, both present and past, and that definitely brings in an emotional aspect. There are times when it does get a little more emotional, and obviously this is dealing with a relationship with older adults, and I absolutely love films that look at love later in life, because most rom-coms, and generally because it's targeted towards people of a similar age, most rom-coms and romance films have a younger protagonists. And I love films where they look at romance maybe a little later in life, maybe when you've already been married or you've already been widowed, if that's the unfortunate situation for one of the characters. And I think that this does a really great job of representing various aspects of love and romance later in life. So that part of it I thought was really well handled. However, I will say it's quite slow in places, and part of me was almost thinking it would have been better as a short film, a long short film, not like 5-10 minutes, but I think it would have been better at the 30-40 minute mark. And it would have been, if they'd taken out the bits that at least I consider to be quite slow and a little bit of padding, it could have been a much tighter narrative. The first half, the beginning's good, but the rest of the first half is just very slow. But I'd say the second half is really powerful, and the bulk of that could have just made a really strong short film. So I don't hate that it's a feature film, but I think it could have been a much more powerful and potentially more emotional experience if the narrative was a little tighter and it had been presented as a short film. But there's a good variety still in what's happening. There are a lot of mixed emotions. The characters are really likable. I absolutely wanted the best for them. The performances are very good, and it feels real. It feels very believable. And that definitely helps with buying into the story. So, generally speaking, apart from some slowness, 23 Walks is a good film. It's yes, there are heightened emotions at times, but it's still, for the most part, quite a gentle, relaxing watch. So it's not too intense, but there are a lot of believable, sometimes quite strong emotions, and I think everything had a really nice balance. So, some pacing issues aside, it's a really solid film. And if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, then needless to say, I'd say 23 Walks is one that might be worth watching.